Hello everyone, I'm Glenn. I'm going to lead you through week 10. This is lesson 1, week 10. During this week, we'll focus on comparison and contrast essays, and we are going to cover all of these points here in this slide, but in lesson 1, we are going to finish the first 3 points. Now, take a look at the picture here. In daily life, we are sometimes given 2 options. It's impossible or unrealistic to have both of them, then we have to make a painful and time-consuming decision. Have you ever been caught up between 2 choices? What was it about? Was it about 2 electronic devices, like mobile phones? Quite a lot of mobile phone users in China are puzzled about 2 brands, Huawei and Apple. Apple has enjoyed a world reputation as an innovation icon for many years, but its mobile phone costs a lot of money. In recent years, Huawei's products have been upgraded relentlessly in both functions and appearance, and they have been outshined iPhones in quite a few aspects, therefore winning a large crowd of fans across the world. Despite its superb quality, Huawei's mobile phone is still quite a lot cheaper than the iPhone. Many loyal users of Apple have started to consider using Huawei's phones, but are still hesitating because of their long-established loyalty to Apple. Are you one of the Apple's fans going through the dilemma? Or was it about 2 men? Both of the gentlemen expressed their affection for you. What's worse, you liked both of them somehow, but who would you accept as your boyfriend? Obviously, you could have both. It must have been a big headache to you. If you have been involved in difficult situations like those, how did you finally make a decision? To relieve oneself of the self-imposed torture, a person in a rational state of mind would try this routine, pros and cons. Usually we find a piece of paper, draw 2 lists. One is the positive quality for both options, and the other is the negative qualities for both options. Then we cross the qualities shared by both of them and carefully analyze the qualities left. If option A has more positive qualities but fewer negative qualities than option B, option A wins. In the whole process, we basically analyze the differences but ignore the similarities. Both the similarities and differences are the focus in week 10. Through this week, we'll be able to understand what similarities and differences are and accordingly identify them when reading essays or before writing our own. We'll be able to understand how comparison and contrast essays are organized, analyze the organization pattern used in this article, and use the pattern appropriately in our own essays. We'll also be able to write an appropriate thesis statement for comparison and contrast essays and avoid producing so what thesis statements. Furthermore, we'll be able to use proper sentence patterns to present similarities and differences. Last but not the least, we'll be able to use proper transition expressions to achieve coherence in the essays. Now, let's move on to a task. Think about the similarities and differences between a dog and a cat. When it comes to pets, most people would think of dogs and cats. Look at the cat and dog in the picture. How cute they are! Wouldn't you want to take both of them home? But if you could only have one pet, which one would you choose? The dog or the cat? Another dilemma, isn't it? But we can always try the list of pros and cons to help us on to make a decision. Instead of drawing simple lists, we can always try using the Venn diagram. There are two circles here. The green one is for dogs, while the yellow one is for cats. You can see an overlapping area of two circles here. Both circles share their area. Let's save it for the similarities between the animals, and the remaining areas are for the differences. Now, think about the similarities first. It's quite easy to find a few similarities, isn't it? First, both of them are cute. Second, they have similar life expectancies. In other words, dogs live as long as cats. Some of them can live up to 20 years and even 30 years. Third, owners of dogs or cats have to pay similar medical and other costs, like food. Similarities cannot lead us to a decision, therefore let's spend more time on the differences. Now, take a small pause and think about the differences for 3 minutes. Are you ready to go on? Dogs bark, and it is usually loud and therefore noisy. By contrast, cats are quiet. Even though sometimes they mew, the noise is much softer. Do you agree? Dogs need more space at home because they don't like to stay at a spot for long, and they like to run once in a while. However, cats can live in smaller areas. They are often seen to sleep on the sofa, under the bed, and even on the windowsill. They just stretch their legs occasionally when staying at the same place for a long time. Dogs cannot be restricted indoors. We need to walk them outdoors every day. But we don't need to take a cat out, and it is perfectly fine for it to stay indoors. Dogs need attention. They scratch at doors, they chew up items, they circle around your legs, they jump to your arms whenever they see you come back home. They do lots of those things to get your attention. Cats are completely different in this area. They seldom do such things, but only mind their own business. Dogs please their owners. Many dog owners have reported that the dog can sense the moods, and they would wiggle their tail or lick the owner's face to cheer them up. On the contrary, cats seem to be aloof, and they do not interact with their owners. They only please themselves. Now, we have got some of the common similarities and differences between dogs and cats. Would it be easier for you to decide which animal to keep as a pet? It's surely helpful to me to make a quick decision now. Based on the differences, keeping a dog sounds like more responsibility and effort. For me, keeping a cat will be an easier choice in a busy life. So far, we have got clear understanding of similarities and differences. Similarities and differences are what comparison and contrast essays are mainly about. If an essay concentrates on similarities, we usually say it is a comparison essay. If it focuses on differences, we often call it a contrast essay. Besides, we can also find essays covering both similarities and differences. What are comparison and contrast essays for? One of the purposes could be clarifying something unknown or not well understood. By analyzing the similarities and differences between an unknown idea and a learned idea, we can figure out what the unknown idea is. Another purpose is to bring one of both of the subjects into sharp focus in order to catch readers' attention. A third purpose is to show that one subject is better than the other, so that we can make a better judgment through comparison and contrast. That's all for this lesson. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you again.